Hey guys, so it's that time of the year where we're gonna get the trees ready for flowering, okay? It's fruit time. It's midway through October. And today, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start trimming off all those branches. So all of our branches where the flowers are gonna be, what ends up happening is we're gonna get little leaves trying to grow out, and we're gonna cut those off. So I've got the cutter back there. The guys are gonna have to climb the tree. Let me flick this camera around to show you these trees here. So you see they're gonna have to climb these trees, and if you take a look, you see on the branches, all those new little branches trying to grow out. We're gonna trim all those off. We have to trim those off. So when we get done with that today, we're gonna go ahead and put down granule fertilize around the trees, which will also help stop the new growth and then promote the leaves to get really dark green and get ready for flowering. And that fertilizer is a 8-25-25 we're gonna put on the ground. So let's go take a look at that. All right, guys, yeah, so this is what we're using here. I told you 8-25-25, it's actually 8-24-24, but it's Yara. It's 1,750 baht per bag. And per big tree, you wanna go ahead and put down 1.5 kilos. Let's go take a look at that. All right, guys, so with your bigger trees like mine, anything pretty much over 6 years old, you're gonna be putting 1.5 kilos around the tree, the base of it, your granular fertilize. And once this is done, then we're gonna go ahead and follow up with spraying the leaves with a 0-50-25. And what that's gonna do is gonna go ahead and, complement the ground fertilize. And we're trying to stop the tree from having new leaves, and we want to just go ahead and turn all the current leaf dark green and prepare it for flowering. And then we want the tree to then, transfer all that energy from leaf growing to producing flower and then fruit. So guys, so basically we're starting this, on the 15th of October. We're halfway through October. And the reason why we're starting now is because we want our trees to have flowers by December. So we're gonna try to get this done now. If we go ahead and flower in December, January time, then of course we want to be able to harvest a little bit earlier for our region. Typically in our region, everybody harvests right around June. And so the price, if it's late June, then the price kind of goes down for the locals here. But if we can get it in May, then we'll get that premium price for our location. So that's the whole idea of why we're trying to stimulate the trees to flower a little bit sooner. And that's why we start October 15th. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and spray the tree now. Now, this is what you want to put on your trees to promote flowering and to stop the leaves from growing, because you can't have flowers if new leaves are growing, right? So what you spray on after you put the fertilizer down, yesterday we put the 8-24-24, and now we're gonna go ahead and spray the tree with the NPK 0-52-34, okay? And then we combine that with amino acid, which has got boron and all kinds of other stuff in it, and then macro minerals, and this here has every mineral in it. So these two I normally always put on my trees, but then the NPK will be different. If I want to grow leaves, I'll use like a 25-5, but in this case we don't want to grow leaves, so there's no nitrogen, and there's a lot of P and K. So your P is double what your K is going to be, just about double anyways. So guys, that's what we're going to put in here, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and just get my amino. This is good for 400 litre. This is a 375 litre tank when totally full. So we'll go ahead and put that whole thing in there. There we go, that's all done. And as far as this bag here, this bag treats up to 400 litres. So we're going to go ahead and put the whole thing in, because we're going to spray the whole farm and we're going to need it all. and it's a powder, so it's not a liquid, but it's water soluble. So we can go ahead and spray the leaves. Now when it comes to this right here, we got to weigh it up, because for this tank I should be putting 100 grams of this on. So come on over here and take a look. So I have a scale. I use this scale here, and again, we only want to put 100 grams of this in. There you go. There's my 100 grams of macro minerals. Okay, we'll just dump it in, and again, it's a powder, but it's water soluble, and it'll just break right down. Now, the good thing is with these chemicals, I can still put fungicide and insecticide in there, so we'll go ahead and do that too. So this is my fungicide here. And we go ahead, and every time I spray, I use a fungicide. That's why my trees don't have any fungus. Now, I did have a problem earlier in the year because I never use this stuff. So now I use it faithfully with everything I use every week. Let's go ahead and put some in. And with this here, I just use 50 cc caps times 4. And that treats upwards of 400 liters. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the insecticide for the 2 bugs that we use. So here's my insecticide. This one here is for a hard shell beetle, and these are the ones that go ahead and just grub on your trees and just destroy it. So you need to be spraying this weekly. And this right here is for the little worms and that. So all the little worms that eat all the little leaves, you guys gotta be using this here. So again, we go ahead and put this in and we mix it in. And what you got to make sure is when you're using different chemicals, they got to be able to work together, okay? And these chemicals do work together. And the brand of this, if anybody wants to know the brand, well, I don't know, that's in Thai. I'll put it in the comments on what brands I'm using. So we're going to go ahead and use, again, 4 caps of this. We put it in, and then for the hard shell, 4 caps also. Now, a little bit's getting on my hand, and it's probably not good to be getting on my hand, but I'm 52. If I live to be 80, that'd be something. But normally you should wear gloves, okay, for safety, but I'm not. Okay guys, so that's it. We're gonna go ahead and fill this tank up the rest of the way, and then we're gonna get over to the farm and we'll start spraying. Yeah, let's get out of here. Okay. right, guys, we're here. So we're gonna go ahead and get the hoses out. We're gonna spray this up. So I've got two wands with this tank, and one hose is only 20 meters long and the other one's 60, so as I can reach deep into the orchard. So we're gonna unwind these and we'll get the sprayer spraying. So guys, when we go ahead and spray this, now being that this farm's got mancoot in it and durian, so they relatively flower around the same time. They have fruit around the same time, not exactly the same time, but we want to introduce flowering now. We want to have an early crop so we can get that little better dollar on our product. So yeah, so we're just spraying the whole farm. All right, it's time to start spraying. We'll put our rotary on. So the beauty about my sprayer is that it just attaches to the back of the caboodle, and the caboodle goes ahead with a drive shaft and runs the pump underneath. Typically what you see is guys driving around with a 1,000-liter tank in the back of a Toyota pickup or something, and they go driving up in the farms, but they can't get deep in here like I can. So they can't go through mud and whatnot. So if you guys are looking to get a tractor, you know, I'd recommend a Kabuto. Okay guys, I'm saying it wrong, Kubuta or whatever, but it's what it is. It's my tractor. So, man, we got some thunderstorms coming in here. Anyways, I hope it don't ruin our show, but it ain't that big of one. But you know, kind of sucks when they do hit. Washes off what we do put down, and you know, that'd be a waste of money. Well, what are we gonna do? What are we doing? Go get something to eat.
I'm not that
Tomorrow morning. All right, so it's 5:30 in the morning, and it's not raining, so we're gonna get ready and spray that farm. I've got Mark coming over at 6. By the time he gets here, we can go ahead and get right over there. Yep, nice and early. Time for coffee. All right, guys, round 2. It's about 6:20 in the morning, and we are spraying again. I'm re-spraying what we started spraying yesterday. We only used about 50 liters, so I refilled the tank. Add a little bit more chemical, so we're good to go now. So here we go. All right, guys, so we're finally getting these trees sprayed, and it's going to be successful. It's good weather out here. Now, you know, everything we're doing here is to go ahead and promote the tree to start flowering. We want it to stop budding. We don't want new leaves. What we want is we're trying to turn the tree into thinking about, okay, now it's time to flower. Now, once we go ahead and get this step finished, now what we're going to look for is we're going to look for the tree to make sure it's not pushing new sprouts, for new buds that come out for flowering. Once we succeed, the leaves should get real dark and there will be no buds, no new buds. And then at that point, it's the second step. We're going to go ahead and spray this chemical on there that's actually going to make them, force them to flower within 2 to 3 weeks. But that's going to be in the next video. We'll see you then.